Now, we go to candidate number 5. Candidate number 5 is Shirin Heyder from grade 10. Shirin, please, you can start the speech right now.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Shirin Heyder. I am from 10B, and today I'm going to talk about a little snippet of what's going on in the everyday lives of teenagers nowadays. But to be more specific, my speech today is going to be more about the education system because, as we know, most of our lives revolves around this topic. We, teenagers, receive our education in various ways. Most of us go to school, some are schooled, and some are already in college, living off knowledge over knowledge for the sake of our futures. However, the pitfall in our education system is to be concerned. As we have noticed throughout this generation, students are more prone to lose motivation or even fall into depression because of school. And in my point of view, this defeats one of the major purpose of the education system itself, because it is meant to build students' character and provide them with a better future, right? And getting their mental health disturbed might ruin this opportunity for them. But then again, it comes back to the students themselves for whether or not they overcome these downfalls in the system and also their own personal problems throughout their learning lives at the same time. Now, if we're talking about personal problems experienced by students nowadays, we will always come across the topic of time management. Now, this is tricky because most of us have just, let's say, departed from our childhood environment where we did not have to worry so much about it. But suddenly, in a quick rate, our schedules are filling up, are getting out of hand, and boom, believe me, at one point, we'll have troubles managing our time to keep up with the piled up sheets, upcoming tests, and so on and so forth. Anyhow, the cause of this doesn't always have to be that we don't have the time to spare in our daily life to finish this assignment given, but sometimes, most of the time actually, we procrastinate. We don't have the time. It's such a common excuse students use when their teachers ask them why they didn't submit something or a lie that they tell themselves. This is an issue I experienced myself actually, and my teachers are probably very well aware of that. So anyways, for this case, I think if we ditch the habit of procrastinating, time management won't be that big of a matter anymore, and therefore we can catch up with expectations that needs to be done. Talking about expectations, do you know that one of the major factors that lives rent-free in most teenagers' brains during their school lives is, of course, high expectations coming from family members or guardians? Now, don't get me wrong, having high expectations towards children sure is a great thing, as long as it doesn't burden them too much or cause them to overwork or stresses them out, because we want healthy expectations here, meaning to say realistic, but high. Now, this type of expectation is actually very much needed because it can act as a catalyst to our determination and clear goal for us to reach, since most of us aren't sure of where exactly do we need to be and what exactly do we need to reach. In some cases, parents or guardians who put too much parental pressure in this matter affect the children's mental health badly. And we really don't want school to be hell for them because that way it won't lead them anywhere. So it's like totally useless and becomes such a waste of potential, don't you think? Finally, to put everything into place, I would like to bring out a possibility that might happen in the future. If the education system improves throughout the years, students might possibly overcome problems like unorganized time management or loss of motivation, resulting in a better and better generations to come. And by so, great things are expected to happen sometime later in the future when we can perceive whatever wonders we'll create and look back at our journey, what brought us to that point, and say, hey, I've done a great job. Okay, then I think that's it from me. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Shirin. Good job. Now, Mr. Jason, Mr. Berry, please.
Okay, Shirin, yes, I think you did a great job, as you just said. I like what you're talking about. Time management, I think, is so important, especially as teenagers, that what used to pass in the past when you were younger doesn't work as well when you have a more of a school workload. Yeah, and procrastination definitely is the bane of that existence. Yeah, I think very good, very excellent, very conversational. I like your expressions, boom. Yeah, I think you spoke to your audience very well.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Jason.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jason.